After officially joining the gang early this morning, Frederick is currently going through his loot at the warehouse, joined by Luna and Dushavie. The fluffy murder machine has been very interested in the various oddities and pieces of equipment he has been rifling through, especially after he gave her the go-ahead to just go ham on the pile of not yet sorted items. She keeps periodically distracting him from his work, trudging over with some random thing in her mouth, and bumping into him to get his attention to ask him what it does. At times, she even makes him chase her through the premises, having tons of fun playing with her dad like that. This time, she has gotten her figurative hands on a big green box with a white shape on it. She gently takes the container made of that plastic stuff in her mouth and saunters over to him, curious to find out what it is. She asks him. Her dad sighs very quietly before turning to her. She knows that he thinks she can't hear him do it, but his demeanor quickly changes as he sees the display, even laughing out loud. "How did you even fit that in there?" he asks her. She protests. She wants to know what it is. "That's a med kit. There are things inside we can use to treat wounds," he indulges her. She proudly proclaims, her usual bark purring coming out a bit weird because of that thing in her mouth. She is also trying to brag a bit, showing off that she can carry such an important thing all on her own by now. Like a big girl. "Oh, really? Give it to me then." He challenges her with that dangerous look on his face. She does not like that look. It often means that he knows something she doesn't, and that she is going to look silly because of that. She hates looking silly. Only dumb cubs that don't know how to look after themselves look silly. Wary of what might come, she lowers her head to the ground and tries to let the medkit go. To no avail. She tries again. Nope, still stuck. This can't be happening. She was just showing off how well she could grab it, and now she can't even let go of the damn thing. Is this a cruel joke? "Lightbulb and the human jaw, huh?" he murmurs. She cries, panic rising as her jaws start to hurt. "Come here. I hope you get it out. Nothing bad is going to happen." He pats his legs, kneeling down in front of her. Luna does as she is told and sits down in front of her dad, absolutely embarrassed. She just keeps staring at the floor, avoiding eye contact with him. "Don't worry." He tries to cheer her up as he places his hands on the medkit. "It'll be gone in no time. Try to relax your jaws for me a bit, alright? I'll go on 1. He counts down and manages to remove the medkit from her toothy jaws, much to her relief. She was starting to fear it might be stuck in there forever. He tosses the medkit to the side and starts looking her over. "You okay?" he asks her, petting her head. She burbles abashedly. She still leans into his touch, though. Can't let the chance to get some nice head pats go to waste, even if it took her making a fool of herself to receive them. "Aw, come here." He pulls her in for a hug. Oh, those she likes even more. "Yes, please." She happily responds in kind, and rests her head on his shoulder. She loves hugs. She just feels so safe when she can nuzzle his neck, being held like this. It's a nice feeling, that's for sure. Sadly, he pulls back a few seconds and frees her from his embrace, standing back up and demonstratively puts his hands on his hips as he looks down at her. "And what did we learn today?" he asks her, in that teaching tone he sometimes uses. She cheekily replies. He raises a threatening eyebrow at her. She relents, admitting her wrongs. She won't be putting such last things in her mouth again. Knew I could count on you. He ruffles her head with a smile. Don't go biting off more than you can chew again, alright? He teases. She whines. Just making sure you're going to remember this lesson. He grins. She realizes that she just spoke out loud, and quickly checks if HFY might have heard. Wouldn't want that to happen. Luckily, the reptilian seems too engrossed in doing stuff to pay any attention to them. Crisis averted. What's up? He asks her, noticing her looking over. Luna hesitates for a moment, looking back between HFY working at the other end of the warehouse and her dad. Twald, she explains. He takes a moment to connect the dots, furrowing his brows. He looks so silly when he does that. Oh, you're worried she might have heard you? She confirms, stealing another brief glance at her. Just to make sure. But why, though? Are you afraid she is going to think you're some kind of monster if she hears you talk? He pauses, catching himself speaking. Wait. His eyes narrow in suspicion. Did you even talk with her or Kiri? At all? He voices his concerns. She shakes her head, keening sadly. She would have loved to talk with them, but not like this. She hates it. She would love to talk with them, like them, but she instead has to sound like this. Nobody would like talking with someone sounding like her. Ah, sweetie. He sits down next to her. He looks at her in a way that makes it clear he is ready to listen to her, and it actually helps her pull herself back together quite a bit. He wouldn't care what she sounds like. He never would. She loves knowing that. Do you want to tell me why? He gently offers her. Luna keeps sulking as she looks at the floor, burbling annoyed. But she eventually relents and answers his question. Only stupid little cubs would keep sulking, and she isn't a cub anymore. Sound stupid, she finally admits. Ah, you don't sound stupid, Bubs. He tries to lift her spirits. I do, she cries, eyes glassy from moisture. I do. His expression drops as she says those words, and he slings one of his arms around her. No, you don't, he tells her earnestly. You sound like the darndest, smartest ever little murder kitten there ever was. You know that? She grumbles. It's true. Think about it. You are smart enough to even be able to talk at such a young age. Of course you're going to sound a bit weird. Who wouldn't? Want to guess how long it took me to get the hang of it then? What kind of question is that? Why would she know? Maybe 2 months? That sounds reasonable. He is a lot smarter than her anyway. She guesses. Not by far, he laughs. Multiply that by, like, 10. It took me 3 years, Bubs. Years. Plural. Wow. She didn't expect that. That would mean she was faster than him. That can't be right. He is probably just making it up to make her feel good. She asks him, voicing her disbelief. For real, he confirms, looking her straight in the eye. I promise. And look at yourself in comparison. Already able to talk at such a young age. You're putting me to shame here, he laughs. She doesn't know how to react to that piece of news. She actually is better at something than him? Nah. Oh, there are lots of things you'd be better at. She doubts that. Seeing her look, he begins counting. You're probably way better at catching prey, a faster runner, can see better in the dark, got sharper teeth, you're way cuter. He goes on, a faint smile on his lips as he does. His list keeps going on, and she is starting to feel a bit better about herself over time. Got super cool looking armor on your back? Oh. He suddenly stops as she bumps her side against his in appreciation. Thank you. She nuzzles his chest. Anytime, he replies warmly. She really has the best dad of the world, doesn't she?